Welcome to Quark's Bar, everyone. All sales are final. We do not offer refunds. Keep your hands off my Dabo girls. And if Morn is here, buy him a drink. Okay, everyone. Hello. I am MB Geek. This is MB Geeks. Let's talk. And today we are talking about games. Anything from classic board game to your state-of-the-art games. And I was supposed to have my son, Darth AJ the Sith, pop in, but he suddenly disappeared on me. Oh, there we go. Here we are. And we got Darth Revan. So we got two Sith Lords here. I got Darth Revan and Darth AJ the Sith. How you doing, buddy?
Greetings. I
Hi.
don't know what the heck. Hey, Jay, I'm Revan.
So what's going on, guys? So today's topic is Resolute Germ, the StreamYard's in there. You are welcome to come in too, buddy. Our theme today is talking about games. Anything from board games to dice games to role-playing games to state-of-the-art games.
Hold on, when you say role-playing games...
No, I don't mean that. My son is here. Let's keep this a little PG-13.
I know, I was only joking with you. No, have any of you seen Gotham Knights? The advertisement for it.
Gotham Knights.
Oh, you don't know? Okay, let me educate you guys. So, it's a co-op game based in the same world as the Arkham Knight. It's literally the sequel to it, to the Arkham Knight series, right? And it's a co-op game. Batman's dead after the events of Arkham Knight, right? Yeah. And you are a Robin, a Batgirl, I think it's Red Robin you are as well. It's
no,
Jason
you're
Todd.
Thinking Red Hood. No, you're thinking Red Hood.
No, there's
hey, Geeks enjoying erotica. Hey guys, this is an open thing. We're talking about games. My son just dropped off, but he'll come back. Yeah. You guys are welcome. Resolute Germ, you're welcome to come in. Geeks, you're welcome to come in. This is going to be a fun talk about different games. No, actually, yeah. Revan, I do remember what you were talking about now.
Yes, I'm looking forward to
it. It looks good. And I actually look forward to the idea of getting to play the Robin I grew up as, or not I grew up as, but the Robin I grew up with, which was Tim Drake. Tim Drake was my Robin throughout the 90s and stuff. So,
Jason Todd
I'm thrilled about being able to see him. And then Red Hood and Nightwing. Yeah, I'd love to play Jason Todd and Tim Grayson, or Dick Grayson.
So me and my friends, we were talking about it, and they said that when it comes out, they're going to stream, and they're going to be like, hey guys, where's Batgirl? And then you're going to see the Batgirl riding up on her motorbike, right? And she's going to get off, walk over, look all nice, and then you're going to hear, hey, what's up? My voice coming out of her.
So, AJ, my son, this was your idea. So give a game that you've enjoyed playing recently. See if my son's listening. AJ.
Yes.
So what game do
you game that
Go ahead.
So the game I want to talk about is Horizon.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yep.
All right, AJ, for those people out here in, say, the chat and the stream and stuff who don't know much about Horizon Zero Dawn, why don't you give an explanation of the game?
It's an open world game that involved a young girl, Aloy, that will grow up to be a explorer to save the world.
Okay.
And you have to travel a lot to complete side missions and main missions.
What did you enjoy about the game?
How you can control machines, and you have different types of skills and bows and weapons.
What was your favorite bow weapon?
The big bow where you have the big arrows. Now, what's the one thing you liked about the game? Tell me.
Well, AJ, I enjoyed the story arc of Aloy. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the pacing of the game. I enjoyed the archery of the game, and the different bows and the different arrows we got throughout the game, and the different ways we advanced those bows. That was a lot of fun. I hands down agree. That was very fun.
And I also love the DLC.
The winter deal. I still haven't played it, buddy. You're gonna have to let me play it one of these days in your PS4. What about you, Revan? Have you ever played Horizon Zero Dawn?
I have not, but one of my friends on Discord, she was playing that for a long time. And then she moved over to Ark. And now a good few of us, we're playing an old game. You might remember it, MB Geeks, Guild Wars 2.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we're current. I just recently got into it. It's actually still going and still being updated. They're constantly adding new content to it. Tomorrow or Tuesday, I believe that they're adding in the. No, sorry, I forgot my days. Lockdown screwing my head. Either Monday or Tuesday. I thought today was Sunday. Either Monday or Tuesday.
You're not the only one. I've heard several people tell me they thought it was Sunday.
Yeah. So either Monday or Tuesday they're adding the new content for the Icebrook saga, and then later in the year they're adding in the content for the main DLC, the End of Dragons. Yeah.
So this is the game Horizon.
Okay. That I have seen. I've seen that girl. Actually, it was at a Comic-Con.
Yeah, her name is Aloy. Yeah, her name is Aloy.
Yeah, I was at a Comic-Con.
She's a great protagonist. I mean, she is really good, fun to play, fun to interact with the other characters. I mean, she has a very good story arc, and it's quite enjoyable. I loved it. My son loved it. Here's an interesting one for you. Yeah, what, Bubba?
It's a cool game.
Yes, it is a very cool
game. I just think it's a cool game.
And so something my entire family right now, at least my son, me, and my wife have all learned is we actually decided to learn a very old school game. We've been learning how to play backgammon. Backgammon.
Gee, really?
Yes, really. I am 41 years old, and I had never played backgammon until about 2 weeks ago.
Well, you're old, so there you go.
Well, my family, there were games. I was sitting down talking with Madam Geek, and I was like, "You ever remember? Did you ever have a game you wanted to learn how to play by your family, but they said you were too young?" And we started talking about different. And I mentioned the card game Rook, and then she mentioned backgammon. I was like, "Oh yeah." Everybody said it was too hard for me to understand, and as I downloaded the game, so I decided.
It's like Horizon.
Yeah.
This is the case.
So while I was like, you know what? I went to YouTube. I learned about backgammon, and I was like, oh, this is real strategy and somewhat luck. I was like, okay. I downloaded it onto my Kindle. I played a few rounds of it on the computer, and took me a little while to get all the basic rules down. But I learn as I'm tactile, so I learn as I play. So I was losing a few games, and I was like, why can they do this? And then finally I realized, oh, they have all their pieces in the one quadrant. That's why they can do it. And okay. They have to have a specific number. If they have a number and say you roll a 3.
Oh, look how good I am at the game.
Anyway, the point of the matter was it became a lot of fun. And my wife and I have played several games, and my son has played several. My son has really become kind of a natural at it.
Yeah.
I have.
Don't toot your own horn, son.
Well, a game that I really always wanted to play, but I never had enough friends for it, was freaking Dungeons and Dragons.
RPG. See, RPG was something that my junior high and high school days were all about. We didn't play D&D. What we played was another version of RPG. We played Palladium. That was the name of the company. We played games called Rifts, Heroes Unlimited, and then the Palladium, which Palladium was kind of a D&D version. And then
Yeah.
we moved on to, but that was a multi-sided die game system, where the term natural 20 comes from and everything. And then we moved on to White Wolf, where we started playing Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf, um, and then also I ran the West End game Star Wars. So,
Nice.
yeah. And that's what we did most weekends. I'd go to my friend's house, we'd all get together, and we'd be role playing games. One guy would be the storyteller, dungeon master, game master, god, game ordnance director, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a title for all of it. But it was really what kept me, I say it's what kept me out of jail probably most of my junior high and high school years.
Yeah. I remember I always wanted to play D&D, but never had. I also went to a very Catholic school. It was literally run by Christian brothers, so D&D was not allowed in that school for some weird reason. But yeah, also oddly enough, another game I'm after really getting into of late, but back into it, has been Destiny too.
Let me put it this way, Revan, you weren't the only one. Being a kid in the 90s in America, being a geek and being an RPGer,
Nah.
that was just like basically a license to get your ass kicked. And I would be in class with like a Rifts game, and I'm reading through the book.
Yeah.
And they're like, "You're going to hell for reading that." I'm like, "It's a game."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like it's
and
not
I got that
real.
shit all the time. Like, you guys play
Yeah.
kids games? It's like, yeah, Bubba.
What game did you not like about the ending? Tell them one game you didn't like the ending about.
Mass
Oh, I don't
Effect
want to talk about
3.
Metal Gear. I do not want to talk about Metal Gear Solid
Okay.
5. I don't want to talk about that. He knows I didn't like that ending.
I did not like the ending of Mass Effect 3. I like I like the update that they gave you where they gave you an alternate ending. But that's
I
one I didn't
tried to
like.
play I tried to play one of the Mass Effects. I think it was Mass Effect 3, and I was like, this is not my kind of game.
Well, that's the good thing about gaming. Everyone, I mean, like even me and my best friend, we don't even agree on some of the same games that we like. Like I love Pokemon, right?
Okay.
I need to get a Nintendo Switch. I grew up on it, and a few of my friends and stuff like that. But yeah, she never got into it. I love Star Trek Online, but she played it for a few minutes and it's like, yeah, nah, that ain't for me.
Hey, Love Shack. You're welcome to come in too, buddy.
You play Star Trek Online, dude?
I did a little bit of it. I thought it was interesting, but I have not done very much of it.
Well, do you have the same
I'm not
console
gonna.
as your son?
What's that?
Do you and your kid have the same console by any
Yes,
chance?
we have. We have PS4s. I'm not. Truth be told, this is where I always kind of say my son is a
Yeah,
gamer. I am not. I will play video games, but I got no problem walking away after a couple of weeks and then coming back. It's just not.
that's the good thing about Star Trek Online, though.
Yeah,
It's I mean, the rate that
I'm just
they put
not
out.
an MMORPG. I'm
Well,
not really an
yeah,
MMORPG. I prefer if I'm gonna do an RPG, I prefer the pen and paper. All right,
uh
we
huh.
got Love Shack. We got the Love Shock.
Hello.
Hello.
What happened with the girl?
What? What girl?
What happened with the girl?
What girl?
Well, there were 3 of you.
That was
just
my
a second
son,
ago.
you shithead.
That was his son, dude.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was my son. Boy, you're not off to a good start here, buddy.
I never am.
Yeah, well, damn.
I never was.
Really? Really?
So,
okay, dig yourself out of that hole, buddy.
Well, NB, if you wanted to, with your PS4s, because Star Trek Online is free on the PS4s as well.
Yeah, I know. I have it already downloaded, and I did play a couple of rounds. But you know, it just really, I don't know. It takes time, and right now with everything I got going on with the move and everything, I don't have time for it. Hey, hold on a second. Revan, Love Shack, you guys talk amongst yourselves real quick about games. I'm gonna go see what's going on with my son.
Okay. So, what games you went to Love Shack?
I don't play much. I don't play many games.
Don't you? Any games at all?
No, I don't have a console. I don't have a PlayStation. I don't have an Xbox. The best thing that comes to my online for me are games I play on my phone or games I play on Facebook.
So why are you playing on your phone?
Oh, there is a Marvel Comics ripoff called. Let me check it. Idol Avengers. But I stopped playing. I stopped playing last week.
All right.
All right, my son will be back in a minute. There was a miscommunication there.
Thanks God he come back.
Oh,
because I don't play games at all.
You don't play any games.
I don't have like I said, I don't have a PlayStation. I don't have an Xbox.
Yeah, but that's not what I mean. Games, you
and
know.
Plus, I don't have time.
Okay, let me tell you something. This is why I have a fascination with games and stuff. When I was in the Marine Corps, I only knew how to play. If there was a card game, I knew how to play 2: solitaire and poker. I learned how to play spades. I learned how to play hearts. I learned how to play domino back in the Marine Corps because people brought these domino, and I was watching these guys put these domino together, and I was like, what is this game? They're like, oh, it's dominoes. I'm like, oh, how do you play it? You know, because unfortunately, hey, there was no freaking internet like we have now back then. Yes, there was internet, but you know, there wasn't a YouTube video for that kind of stuff.
Is there any games from the past that you would love to play? And I mean, like ancient cultures that or anything like
What's your favorite board game, Dad?
What's that, AJ?
What's your favorite board game?
Ooh.
So that's your son.
Risk. I would have to say Risk is my favorite board game.
I never played Risk, although one board game I always wanted to play is Settlers of Catan.
Risk is a hard game.
Is it? Yeah, okay, so I go to Comic-Con in Dublin every year, except this whole thing. And they have this section for board games, right? Okay. Where you go in, you can sit down. Yeah, but that place is always full, so I never got a chance to play any board games or anything like that. I haven't played a proper board game since I was younger than your son. So that's a while.
Yo, Love Shack, what's up?
Did you ever play Battleship with cards?
No, I never played Battleship with cards. I only played Battleship the traditional way.
Okay.
Yeah, I never saw a Battleship card game.
My grandfather used to play this game that they used to call Spikes. Okay? When he was in the army. Where, you know, the way that like you'd have rivets that you'd weld together for, like in the army they'd take 2 rivets and weld them together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you paint one side of them one color and the other 3 sides a different color. And the aim of the game is to get the blue side to stick up. Right? And that's what they used to play when they were out on the field. And someone would bring a bag of metal rivets and they'd play spikes.
Hey, AJ. Son.
Yes.
What's your favorite board game that you like to play?
Checkers. I mean, not checkers. I don't really have one.
Okay, here's a question.
Yeah.
What's a board game that
you more than you? Hold on a second. Do you like checkers more than you like Connect 4?
Oh, I like Connect 4 better.
You like Connect 4 better? Okay. Now, all right, Darth Revan, what were you going to ask?
What board game do you hate with every fiber of your being?
Oh, no.
I really hate board games.
One word, Monopoly.
Oh, I'll think about that.
I don't hate Monopoly. We never finished
It's
the
a long
game.
game.
Usually just,
Has
I know
anyone
it's a long game.
They have several versions of Monopoly now.
Madam Geek, why don't you come in here and talk about backgammon with us? We talked about it a minute ago. Here, I'll put the link in and you can come on in. We'll make it a family affair. Yeah, Monopoly lasts forever. That is true, honey. But normally, whenever I've played Monopoly, it has usually, at some point, we just quit and see who has the most money.
Why not the most properties? Who has the more properties?
And because it's not about
who
properties.
has the most property generally has the most money.
You know,
true.
I remember one time, we were playing Monopoly in school.
I'm getting it, guys. Let me in.
And
now go.
Hi, honey.
Oh.
Hello, Madam Geek. Pleased to meet you.
Oh, that's Madam Geek.
So we were playing Monopoly, and we had this teacher, right? And he was there, and it's like, yes, this is what, and everything. And he started getting more and more frustrated with Monopoly, right? And I remember me and my friends, we were sitting down, and he was playing over in the corner, him and another teacher. And all you'd hear was swearing in Russian, and the Monopoly board going across the room. Just the principal going.
Madam Geek, what's your favorite board game?
I almost feel a little Brady Bunch going here.
Hold on, we all need to take a breath for a second.
Now, what I was saying was, doesn't this kind of look like with you, me, and AJ here? This is kind of a Brady Bunch thing with the panels. So, Madam Geek, what board games growing up? What kind of board games did you like, or what was your guys' first computer games that you played?
Oh crap! There's a dog on AJ's bed. I didn't realize that.
2 of them.
Oh my God, they are. Jesus! I thought that was a pillow.
Jade. Here, puppy. Yeah, I was just messing with the dogs.
Father is calling us. He must.
Look,
hold on. Madam Geek,
say hi.
Madam Geek, you're muted.
Okay, I'll just pop in here for a minute. So you guys are talking about games, video games, board games, things like that.
Excuse me.
Why can you join?
Video games, I'm not too fluent on. Because when I was a kid, we didn't have a game system in my house. So I had to go over to my friend's house to play a game system. And they had the original Mario Kart. So that's about the best that my video gaming gets to. This is the old school Mario Kart. Then I had a friend who had the Dr. Mario way back when. That's early 90s. So I kind of prefer board games. But I liked Perfection back in the day. where you had that little timetable. You push the game board down. You had to put all the pieces in before it popped up on you.
Oh, I remember that. Thank you for bringing back so many memories of me playing Mario Kart.
Oh my God, honey! Yeah. I forgot all about perfection.
Yeah, and then there was this game called Mousetrap, where as you worked your way around the board, you built this mousetrap. And then when you got to the end, you actually saw the mousetrap catch the mouse. So, but I think my newfound, so my family, we were in the process of learning backgammon. So I found this
game is awesome.
that gave a really good tutorial series on how to play backgammon. I was like, wow, this really makes sense now. So my husband and I are playing on this on the app. I'd really like us to get an actual board game so the computer isn't kind of helping us with our moves and stuff. But AJ's done pretty good. He beat me 2 times today.
Helping us?
What's that, Bubba?
Why do you want to get a board game?
Well,
as I play on the tablet.
Because then you have to think a little bit more. We don't have the tablet giving us, you know, all the moves. We'd actually have to think more about our moves and our strategies a little bit more.
Also,
I think it'd be much more. I think it will make the game a lot more challenging.
Yeah. Also, you can't cheat on a tablet. Sorry, on a physical board one, you can cheat on the tablet.
The board game is on the tablet is a plot against you, buddy.
You know why? You know why you should do NB, and I would love to do this. But you should do this. You should look up, say, easier to get, but old games like Victorian board games and things like that, and maybe try and recreate some. That might be some fun to do. See how your ancestors play games.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, that's something to look up.
Yeah, or actually, so since I remember you said that, like you do things like with the Bible and things like that. Look up a board game from back then because they did have some. And while you're doing or something like that, see how they used to play it back then. Because I mean, NB kind of already looks like hipster Jesus.
So
I know that.
One of the fun games I remember playing in school, honestly, it's where I got kind of my my love of strategy and stuff, and that was Clue. I loved playing.
Yes,
Clue was so much fun to play.
There was okay, so did you ever play like real life Clue?
No.
Okay, so my teacher, like my school got incredibly bored when it was raining, right? So my teacher had us all the kids blindfolded, and then somebody was touched on the back by someone else, right? He'd tell 2 kids, you touch, like say, NB, you touch me on the back, so I'm dead, and then while everyone is blindfolded, NB steps back into the group. We all take off the blindfolds, and everyone has to guess who killed me.
I think I played something like that a while back, but I don't think we called it the same thing. But yeah, it was kind of the quick. I played something similar where we were blindfolded, and we had to physically touch someone on the face to see if we could recognize who they were.
Gotcha. Yeah. That is actually a very good thing for increasing some cognitively, because if you could do that, then you could easily find your way around with your eyes closed.
Yeah,
you know what?
Definitely.
Yeah, you know what else?
Yeah, but there was, like I said, you know, games whether they were RPG, you know, the Atari system was one of my first ones. But the first time I played any video game was on a Commodore 64. And, you know, it was Jumpman, it was Zaxxon, it was those kind of games. But, you know, for little kids at our age, you know, it was everything under the sun. It was like the coolest thing on the planet. It was like having an arcade in your house. You know, whereas nowadays that's more taken for granted. You know, but there's something lost in that, to having these big consoles in your house and not having an arcade anymore. It used to be the arcade was a big, you know, hangout spot. You know, this is where you would go. You'd go to the movie, like when I was growing up, you'd go see a movie, and then after the movie, you'd go to the arcade and you tell your family, you know, it's like, or in my case, I'd have a lot of times my family would be like, all right, here you go, here's the mall. All right, you're going to the arcade. I'll pick you up in a couple hours. Here's $5. $5 could actually last 2 hours.
Yeah, but here's the thing, NB. That was like nowadays, a lot of people have friends around the world. Like, so I game with friends in like Arizona, Washington State, Ohio, and Texas, and then I have a cousin who's constantly on the move and everything, and have another friend in the Netherlands. When we were growing up, we really didn't have that, but this has become more common these days.
Yes. What do you think, honey? I remember my wife had a very good idea for a little nostalgia arcade.
Okay. Oh, hold on, Mrs. Geek, you're muted again.
Unmute yourself, honey. Unmute yourself.
Oh, so you're gonna let me tell my idea about the arcade I had?
Well, yes.
Okay, why not?
So here's my $1 million idea. So you get a bunch of 1980s old school video games. You have an arcade, but it's only for 21 and older, and you serve alcohol like they do at the casinos. So you charge maybe a $5 cover to get into the arcade. The alcohol is free, but you make your money by people playing the video games.
That would actually sound fun. I mean, like it'd sound like a mad laugh. But what you could also do. Okay.
Somebody's calling my wife. Somebody's calling to whiff.
Someone's calling your whiffy.
Yeah, somebody's calling to whiff.
But yeah, that would actually be fun. But what you could also do is you could get a load of those Japanese, because arcades are huge in Japan, right? Even to today. So you could get a load of the arcade stuff from Japan and bring it over and do the same thing as well.
Yeah, there's always a possibility. But, you know, I kind of thought the idea would work was you have the standard hours where it's open for all ages, but say after 8 o'clock, then it's 21 and older.
Mm-hmm.
You know, drinking bars open and stuff like that. That I think would be a lot of fun. And I think there's a lot of people, maybe I'm wrong, I think there's a lot of people who'd love to be able to have a couple of beers and go play some video games. I've seen it at Frankie's Funhouse. People go to the bar, have a few beers, go play some video games, go back to the bar, have a few beers, go back and play some video games.
Hey, Dad.
That is good.
Yo, boss. Yeah, what's up?
What's your favorite arcade game?
I'm sorry, guys, but I need to go.
No worries, dude.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Take care, bud. Oh, my favorite. Oh, I'm gonna have to honestly. I'm going old school. I gotta go Miss Pac-Man. I gotta go Miss Pac-Man.
Final Fantasy 2.
In the arcade?
Yeah, I played Final Fantasy in the arcade. There was a pub near when I was younger, and the pub's wife's owner was Japanese, right? Mm-hmm. And her brother owned an arcade over in Japan, so he would send the arcade machines over to her, right? She'd just switch out the plug and that, and they'd like rig up the new coin system and everything. And yeah, I played Final Fantasy 2 in the arcades, in the pub.
I'll be damned. I didn't even know Final Fantasy 2 was in the arcade.
That's actually where Final Fantasy started.
Oh, I thought it started on Nintendo, but honestly, I don't know much about the Final Fantasy legacy. Now, I will tell you this. one legacy my son knows real well is Zelda.
Oh, Zelda, yeah.
Zelda?
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember how we played tell everyone how Zelda Breath of the Wild went.
Oh, it was a hard game, but me and Dad beat it.
Oh, fantastic.
And how many hours did we play on those weekends, buddy? Those Saturday, Sundays, we were in your room and we were playing the game and switching off. And how many hours were we playing?
Probably 1.
Oh, no, not 1 hour.
2.
Oh, my God. How about 10 to 12 hours? We went looking for... We went
120 shrines.
every single... We got to a point we said, we're going to find every single shrine.
And get all the hearts.
And we did. We found every shrine in Breath of the Wild.
And we got the fully powered Master Sword. We got the Master Sword all the way up.
Oh my God, AJ, remember how hard it was for us to get to that last part of the Master Sword?
Oh, yeah, that was hard. Don't even bring that up. That was hard.
Yeah, my son, he tried. He came so close. He was just one thing away from getting it, and then he got killed. This was like our 6th, 7th attempt. We were so dejected. He went to sleep.
My dad beat it. When I was at school, my dad beat it.
Yeah, he went to school. Well, no, he got up. He went to school. I tried it, and of course, I beat it the first time out. I tried it that day. All the other attempts we made, I couldn't do worth a crap at that time. So I stopped it there. As soon as I beat that, I stopped it there and left it alone. So when AJ came home, I could tell him and we could pick up right from there. But that was such a fun game for us to play together. And it was like I'd go in and tell Madam Geek, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I know we're playing." She's like, "Nope, you're good. You're good. Go back and play." We had some fun arguments too.
Now, how long did it take us to find 120 shrines? Tell them about the DLC.
We played it. If we did it the way we did, if I remember, 6 weeks. It took us 6 weeks because we played it over Saturday and Sunday because that was the only time we had time to play.
I would just because it's free and stuff like that. I'd say Ethan might have a laugh on Destiny. Like the two of you just run through it and everything.
Yeah, we had a blast. It was probably the most fun game we got to play together. Names for your sport: joystick, quarter shots, ready player ones. Hey, Latino Slan, how you doing, Polly? Polly, hey, you're welcome to come in and talk games. I'd love to hear what kind of games you like to play when you were growing up. We're talking everything from board games to video games to what my son enjoys, how my son and I and my wife are all learning backgammon together. So, kind of have an education. My son is really enjoying backgammon, and he's actually pretty good at it. So
that's great to hear.
You're welcome to come in if you want. Awesome. Great to see you. Thanks for popping in on the chat. So, Revan, growing up in Ireland, I mean, did you guys have like, Operation, Guess Who?
Yep, we had all of those. And the real one that we didn't have was that dating one that you see in all the 90s and 80s stuff, like that dating game. Ireland wasn't really big on board games.
What about card games? Did you guys have card games you liked?
Huge on card games. Ireland is still huge on card games.
Latino Slant, no problem, buddy. Drive safe. What kind of card games did you like to play growing up?
Poker.
Really?
Yeah, when I go to Comic-Con every year, me and my friends, we play poker about who's going to pay for the takeout.
My favorite card game is Uno.
Oh, nice. That's a bit after my time because that came out like quite recently enough.
Really, I grew up on playing Uno as a kid.
Well, really? Wow, it only became big over here around like 95, 96, stuff like that.
Oh, no, I was playing it. Yeah, I mean, no, I was playing it younger than that. I was playing it in the 80s.
Jeez.
Huh. Well, licensing and everything. Who knows how that all plays out. So
Did you ever play Buckaroo?
No, never played Buckaroo. I
Ever
did play
heard of
Wagon
it?
Train. I did play Wagon Train and never survived the trip. For those of you who don't know, that's a very old computer game.
Yeah.
But we had some of the best times I had. It's like, it's interesting. There's kind of a nice connect with my wife now. Where we're playing the game, backgammon and stuff, but we're kind of talking back and forth and having that. And I remember that used to be a very common thing. A lot of times it wasn't so much the game, it was the socializing that went on to the game. And it's a very I think it's kind of a lost art nowadays. People have kind of forgotten that. It's like it wasn't so much the game itself, it was just the getting together. The role-playing games I used to play, yes, it was a lot of fun, but to play the games, but it was a lot of fun, with the people we were with, because that's really what it did. Oh yeah, yes, honey, I do. And NB Geek, do you remember when we learned how to play Pokemon? Yes, I do. When we had a lot of fun with that.
What's your favorite video game, Dad?
No. Mom's talking about the cards, buddy. The cards you have. Remember all those decks we put together?
Oh, Pokemon cards? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what Mom's talking about.
We have a lot of them.
And we had a lot of fun playing the game.
Yep, and I beat you a lot.
Well, what else is new? Hey, Darth Aster, working and lurking, huh?
Hey, Aster.
No worries there, buddy. Definitely no worries there, man.
There's an old Irish card game that roughly translates to Kings, right? Where you throw the cards down, but there were these like specifically painted cards, and each one of them had a different king on it, right? At one point, Ireland had 150 kings, so this is why they made the card game. And they'd throw it down, but the thing was, you were playing a fictional battle, and I have the more powerful king, and you throw it down. My king beats your king, but this king beats that king. And the one who basically rules the game, wins the game with one card, is the one who throws down the high
king. And what is this game called?
It's an Irish name, but it hasn't been around since the Norman times, but it's called Kings. They found a box of it recently.
Oh, I'll have to look that up. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of old games that look really fun. The ancient Egyptians had one that was basically a ball on a string that swing around and shit like that. Then there was this weird one that I know that they used to play on decks, was when the boats just go up and down. See how far you can get a ball to roll.
We played this game in Florida when I was a kid, and it's not something I've ever seen anybody else ever play again. And it's basically kind of tennis, but there's no net, and it is with a volleyball, and the name of the game was called Bound Ball.
Bound Ball, never played that. Never even heard of it.
It was basically it was basically kind of like tennis. The ball had to bounce once, but if it bounced twice, it was a foul. You had to do that. Like I said, it was kind of like tennis with a volleyball and no net, and it was called Bound Ball. And I hadn't thought about it in a lot of years. But I was like, I don't know if this is just something that school made up or what.
Did you ever play handball?
Handball.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with handball.
I'm not making a reference or anything like that, so don't be worried. Basically, what you do is you get, the rubbery squash balls.
Okay.
Or a tennis ball. And you throw it against the wall, and the aim of the game is you keep slapping it and running and slapping it, but it's not to get it to hit the ground. Handball.
Are you familiar with a game called cornhole?
No, cornhole over here, I'll tell you in the private chat.
Okay.
It means something else.
Are you familiar with the game, though?
No.
Okay. The whole point of the game is you have this box, and it just has a little hole in it. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get your bean bags.
Oh, we call that
to
happy
go in the
sack.
hole. And called cornhole.
We call that happy sack.
Nope. Nah, happy sack
Hold
here
on.
means something different.
Hey.
Happy sack means you're kicking the sack.
Yeah.
No, it means you're kicking the sack with your feet.
Hey, and me, can you look at this wafer? That's what cornhole means here.
Oh, it's called racquetball. Yeah. Don't forget we learned how to play Pokemon a while back. I know we learned how to play Pokemon. We were talking about that.
Well, I was busy taking care of kids.
Oh, well.
Pokemon. Gotta buy them all, Pokemon. Someone was talking about how uncreative Pokemon has gone these days. Like with the fact that there's the keys and chandeliers. I was like, yes, I remember.
Oh, okay. Handball is called racquetball here. Okay, I got you now. Thanks,
Asher. Even if you don't use a racket, you're just using your hands.
Why would you use your hands for that? That's gonna hurt after a while.
That's the point. It's fun when it's sore.
You Irish are crazy.
Dude, you also have to remember a lot of our people were arrested for different things. This is a prison game.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, so it was passed down and things. You understand history it's from like rebels and stuff like that. But yeah, it came out of prison.
Gotcha.
And it's called handball. Hold on, I'm gonna look up racquetball and see if it's the same thing.
All right, everyone. Hey, we've hit about 50 minutes. I'm going to get ready to call it. I started early, and I've had a better turnout than I would have had at 3 o'clock. Revan, I know you got something going on tonight. What time is it going on? You're talking about
it is going on in 3 hours and 40 minutes.
All right, I'm going to try and make it to this, buddy. So 3 hours and 40, so
I was
5:46 o'clock my time. So 5:46 o'clock my time, and you want to talk about Star Trek Enterprise.
It's hold on. I'm gonna send you because I'll send you the actual link to the video so you can see. Yeah, so 3 hours 40 minutes from now. 3 hours 40. Right?
I'm pretty sure. Shoot the link in here if you want to, buddy.
Yeah, there is the link in the chat, the YouTube chat, and I'll drop it in the StreamYard chat and stuff like that. So we're kind of discussing about the overall season when we talk, but we're also theory crafting about it as well. One of the guys on it, CSA, it was his idea this stream, and he's saying, was the Enterprise unprepared for its maiden voyage? And there's a few references and things like that he has, and I've got a few clips prepared to back up his reference.
Oh, interesting. I look forward to that.
I have a theory that it's a different timeline.
Well, we will see, won't we?
We will.
All right, everyone. You have a great time. Darth Revan, thanks for coming in. Darth Haster,
always.
Latino Slant, thanks for stopping in, buddy. I hope you get home safe. Live at the Love Shack, thanks for coming in. Resolute Germ, Darth AJ the Sith, my lovely wife. Everyone, peace and long life. And I'm going to lead you out with my nice little outro. I hope you enjoy.